Hello everybody, welcome back to Bootstrap Workbench. Today let's do something a little bit different. I have an Astron VLS-10M power supply here. It's variable voltage, variable current. It will do 0 to 40 volts and up to 8 amps continuous. It will go up to 15 intermittently. The issue that I'm having with it, let me show you what's going on here, is that when the power supply is on, so right now it's at about 3.3 volts. If I turn it up, and sometimes it's even intermittent about wanting to display the issue, as I rise through about 5 volts, it starts to get really unstable. It does not want to maintain a set voltage, and it's not wanting to do it right now, but it was just a little bit ago. So if we sat here for 5 or 10 minutes, the voltage would start swinging wildly between, say, 4 volts and 11 volts. If I get it up above about 12 volts, it's stable all day long. So I think that there's an issue with the voltage adjustment potentiometer. What I wanted to see is if I can get the power supply open and then put some deoxit into the potentiometer, work it back and forth, see if that improves the issue. So let's go ahead and get started on taking this thing apart, see if we can get it to where it's a little bit more reliable, because most of the time when I'm doing stuff, I need to be between, say, like 5 and 9 volts. Alright, I've got my tools together. I've got everything else I need. So the first thing that we're going to do, of course, is turn the power supply off. And we're going to disconnect our AC mains. That is the first main thing you want to do. Now, of course, in a power supply like this, there is a large capacitor. We need to make sure we stay clear of that. So let's get things disconnected here. We'll pull my multimeter off to the side. Let's get a screwdriver and start taking out screws. So we'll do the 3 along the top and the back, and then there are 4 more on the bottom. And I'm just putting those screws into actually it's the top of my screwdriver box, my precision screwdrivers, so that I don't lose them. Now you may run into issues on some Phillips screws. This one has some crud in it. I just take a little pick and pick them clean, so that way I don't have to worry about stripping the heads of these screws. I'm sure I could get some that fit in here, but they're nice, they're colored the same as the case, they work well, so I'd like to see if I can maintain them if possible. Alright, we've got all of that. I think it's going to, yeah, we want to slide off the back. There we are. We'll just set that out of the way. And then we'll turn this to the side. So, like I said, there's a large filter capacitor here. Make sure to stay clear of the terminals on top of that. I did want to talk for just a moment about Astron power supplies. I've had really great luck with them. I had one that was given to me when I worked for a two-way radio shop, and it had taken a lightning strike. I was able to test, all of the pass transistors were bad. This board had components blown off of it and traces were missing. But the transformer, the bridge rectifier, the filter cap, everything else tested out good. I contacted Astron and they sold me the controller board for $25 plus shipping. I went to my local electronic supply house, bought the pass transistors. I was able to fix that power supply for way less than it would have cost me to buy a new one. So, the next thing that we're going to do, this is our potentiometer that's giving us problems here. So, let me go ahead and take some pictures. I like to always make sure I get pictures when I'm working on things, so that if something comes apart, I know where things went and I can put them back together correctly. All right, let's turn this back around. So if we're going to take the potentiometer loose, which I would like to do, we're going to need to get the knob off, and then there is a nut behind the knob that needs to come off. So I'm going to take a small screwdriver. I've turned this all the way down to the lowest position, so I know where it's at. We take that off. And then of course, this is the one wrench that I could find today, and it's ridiculously large, but it will do the job. So what we're going to end up doing is, if we scratch this, it will at least be under the knob so that nobody's going to see it, which really it's just going to be me. I'm turning the whole potentiometer. Okay. There we go. Broke it loose. Okay, and there is no washer behind that. Let's get that out and see if we have enough slack to be able to work on it. Now, one thing that we could do is we could bend back the tabs and get the back housing off and see the entire resistance element, but I don't necessarily want to do that. Now this is an Alpha brand, and it's marked B2.5K. So I'm going to assume that is a 2.5 kilo ohm, and it's not a tapered pot, it's a standard pot. What I will do, just like everything else, I'm going to make sure I get a picture so that if this doesn't work and I need to order a replacement part, I already have the part information. Alright. So I've got my deoxit, and I'm just going to spray some in there. There we go. Got it on my hands. That's okay. It's not great, but it's not awful. Just wipe it off on my blue jeans. If you're not wearing blue jeans, you're not ready for work. We're just exercising that back and forth. Let me turn this so that you can see. Exercising that back and forth so that hopefully it will correct whatever issue is there. Now, if the potentiometer is dirty, this may do something. If the potentiometer is damaged because too much current was drawn through it, then we may have to go ahead and end up replacing this potentiometer. It is definitely turning easier than it is. So we're either going to come up with a decent long-term fix, a short-term fix, or not necessarily fixed but different. And I can't really tell which one that's going to be yet. Alright, let me go back and take a look at my picture here and see how this was aligned before. And I'm going to roughly align it the same way. So I will get my nut here. This is a good time to mention, if you don't want to cross thread fasteners, this is an old trick that I was taught, and I've always used it. I very rarely cross thread things. Take the nut or the screw, the bolt, whatever, turn it backwards until you feel it click, and when it's clicking, it's both ends of the thread seating to each other. If you do that, then you're almost never going to cross thread the thing, unless it's a damaged fastener or something along those lines. It would be great if I had the proper tool for this. Unfortunately, like 90% of my tools are in storage, and so it's not easy for me to track them down when I need them. One of these days I'll build a shop, and I'll have everything easily accessible. Alright. hopefully that's where we need it to be. We're just going to go ahead and make sure we're roughly aligned here. Yeah, that looks roughly correct. Okay. What I am going to do now is really not recommended. I'm going to power it back on and test it with the cover off. I'll just make sure to not touch anything. So current is turned all the way up, voltage is turned all the way down, our meter is on. Let's scoot that back that way just a little bit. Let me reach across here and get the power cord. Get this plugged in while not touching anything inside the compartment. Let's power on. So we're still at 3.3 on the low side. 5.3. I needed to be at 5 volts earlier for a project I was working on, and I had a hard time getting to 5 volts. So we're at 5.05. It looks pretty stable. Let me go ahead. What I'm going to do is let this power supply run for 15, 25, 30 minutes, something like that. We'll come back and we'll see if we're still at 5.05 volts. All right, we are back again. It's been 30 minutes. Voltage has been pretty stable the entire time. We're still right at 5.05, 5.06, and I haven't seen any fluctuations bigger than that the whole time I've been sitting here. Let's run the control up a little and see if it still stays stable. Oh, my meter decided it was time to be done. Okay, so we're at 6.86. Before, when there were issues, I could tap the front of the panel and it would sometimes sort it out. So I feel like we probably have got a decent fix here. Now the question remains, is this going to be a long-term fix or is this going to be a short-term fix? I won't know until I give this probably at least a couple of months, but I need to use this power supply pretty frequently. I use it for a lot of things here. It's almost never stable close to 9 volts. Now, of course, it's always difficult to adjust. It's not like they used 10-turn potentiometers on here where you can dial it in really precisely. I've got one power supply that does that, and it gets reserved for special tasks. But I feel pretty good about this. I think that this is really working the way that we need it to work. Let me go ahead and we will shut this off. And I will pull the power cord. Voltage is collapsing. Everything's looking pretty good there. Let's pull this meter out of the way. And let's go ahead and put the cover back on this, get it buttoned up, and ready to go back into normal daily type service. I say daily. I really only work on projects usually on weekends when I have time. I'm still doing the Monday through Friday day job thing. Maybe if the YouTube kicks in nicely at some point, I might decide to switch to just doing YouTube, although I am working on getting my full retirement through work, and also I work for a government agency, local government agency, so I am on track for student loan forgiveness, and that's going to be in just the next 3 or 4 years. so I still need to stay at it for a while. But I enjoy making YouTube videos. I'm actually running 3 different channels right now. One does ham radio stuff, one does retro computing stuff. The other one does just general stuff. Whatever strikes the fancy. Sometimes it's comedy stuff, sometimes it's tractor repair stuff, or, like I said, just whatever. A catch-all, if you will. So, I think once this is all back together, I'm going to go back to what I was working on before. I've got a Motorola 68HC11 software development board, an evaluation board of an old type. When I went to tech college at one point in the mid-2000s, they were throwing them away because they were outdated, and they had a dumpster half full of them. So I grabbed several kits, and they were new in the box complete kits. So it was evaluation boards and software and manuals and everything. Let's go ahead and dust some of this crud off of here. When I got this power supply, the feet had disappeared off of it, and it will tear up a bench surface. So I stuck felt furniture runners on it just to give me something so it wasn't tearing up my bench top. But there we go. That's going to pretty much cover it for today. And I will let y'all know in the future if this was a good fix or not. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching today. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you found this video helpful or you just had a good time, make sure to leave a like on your way out. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I really appreciate everybody that's watching. I appreciate your feedback. And I hope you have a nice day. And thanks for watching.